Hello, hello. This is Laura V from Laura V Studios here with Being Divine, part two. Today is Thursday, September 5th, 2025. And this morning, first of all, Mrs. Eddy, Mary Baker Eddy, has been my spiritual teacher for a very, very, very long time. And she wrote these words: My prayer, some daily good to do to thine for thee, an offering pure of love, whereto God leadeth me. And, my guides basically said it to me and I wrote it. And I was like, thank you for your guidance, because I was asking for guidance for them. And I was like, help me figure this out. How I can, what offering of love can I provide that will help people? What's, yeah, like what people need, and what I can do to meet that need. And I realized the offering that I'm offering in a few different ways. It's a container. It's a safe, loving container for those who are seeking healing and awakening. It's for people who feel that they're on the ascension path, or, you know, yeah, those of us who are more into this say, we're on the ascension path, and we are. Some of us are very much on an ascension path, but others just, they're like, what is that? It's like, that's fair. I was really resistant to it at first. But waking up to who we really are, you know, like, you're something beyond the human, and you want to be that more. That's what I want. I know that I'm something beyond the human, and I want to be that more consistently, more reliably. Now, and the thing I've learned is that the awakening process is a gradual one, and we just keep waking up to the truth of who we are and of spiritual reality more and more. But that was the other thing my friend and I talked about. It's like, this isn't about one truth. I have my truth and you have your truth. And so my goal is to help you discover and live out your truth. It isn't about me telling you what's true. That's actually not what I teach. That's not what I do at all. I actually, and that's not what my mentor does either. We use invocations for people to have their, it's the coolest thing. We use invocations for each person to have their own unique spiritual journey. So that's the cool thing. We can use one invocation for a group of 20 people, and each person will have their own individual experience, because it isn't about me giving you something. I'll also talk about channeling for a minute, but it's about you receiving what you need from your guides, and from your higher self. That's it. That's it. And I simply hold space for that to happen. I'm a facilitator more than anything. I just facilitate other people's own individual journey. And then the other thing I'm doing, which he also does, my mentor is Benjamin Bernstein, um, is I give you invocations. I teach you the invocations and I show you how to use them for yourself. It's just, what we find is that it's more fun and actually more powerful when we do the energy work together as a group, which is why I prefer group work, because it's just better. It actually is more suitable to me, to my energy. I'm much better at working with a group. I can work one-on-one with people, and I'm happy to do that. As a matter of fact, in my programs, I build it in that we have so many group sessions, but we also have some one-on-one sessions, because it's important. It's important to have your individual needs addressed. And so I want to make the time to have that one-on-one interaction with people. Now, see, the reason a lot of people don't do one-on-one, except by charging a lot of money for it, is because they want to scale. So in order for them to make money, they need hundreds of people to be in their program, and they don't have the time to meet with hundreds of people, right? And that's why I'm not doing that. That's not happening. No, in my programs, it's I live in the Midwest, the rural Midwest, and life's expensive. And so I need to, of course, be able to meet my needs, but I also want to make it affordable for people. So I'm not charging a lot for it on purpose, but I'm also providing a few different things. Because, for instance, I have a membership. Well, I can hold space for, 50 people at a time. And what I've learned in the membership that I'm in is a lot of people can't make the live ones, but they listen to, but the person who leads this membership can see how many people access the recordings. He's like, not 80 to 90% of my membership just access the recordings. So there's value in recordings. Because what we've learned is this energy work is just as valuable on a recording as it is live. There isn't much of a difference. Not really. So that's why it works. So so yeah. So I have a membership that is not expensive. It's $10 a month. If you're struggling, and it's $20 a month if you can afford it. You get a little bit extra if you pay the $20 a month. Um, but it's a weekly community support meeting, like live. We all get together and I provide support for everybody who comes onto the call, and then record it for people to watch if they can't make that call. So that's like my large group offering. That's live. You still have access to me, but it's more of a group offering. And then my smaller programs charge a bit more. And then I have a mini course. I'm putting together a mini course. And that's inexpensive, but you can have access to my group where you get live support. So yeah, that's the idea. So that's how I'm thinking how I can do this. Now, what is it that I do? Oh, I actually said that. I'm helping you awaken and heal. Yeah. Yeah, it's easy. And the cool thing is it's your higher self and your guides doing it. I'm just facilitating it. So it's actually fun and easy to do. And I can even say that on the receiving end, I've done a lot of psychotherapy, and it's exhausting. Trauma healing can be exhausting. But more often than not, when I do really intense trauma work in this method, in this container, I don't have to recover. I can just go on with my day. There's no sleep needed, nothing. It's like I feel better than when I started. I feel lighter. It's awesome. And the people that I do this with, they feel lighter when they're done. Like, wow, that was great. Like, fantastic. So so it works. But the cool thing is I've been on the receiving side of this. So I know what it's like on both sides, which is helpful, I think. Um, so the goal of my work is to help people embody their divinity and their divine consciousness. Because here's the thing, we do a lot of energy work, right? It's all about feeling the energy, feeling that peace and bliss. And now I'm embodying my divinity. Almost. It's a good start. But here's the thing. Here's my higher self dropped in one day. It was a surprise. And then the next week, the Christ dropped in. I was like, what is this? And what happened both times was this was a very real presence inside my body, my physical form. And it was a very strong energy and a very strong peace. I was just at peace, and my mind was quiet and my parts were quiet. That's part of it. But when I awakened at the soul level, I experienced soul level consciousness, and soul level consciousness is not human consciousness. It's very, very different. Very different. And so that is what I'm working towards. I'm working towards embodying that consciousness. It's a cool thing. And that's why I want it back. Like, I want to experience that more. I want more of that, please. And that's what I'm working on. And so I'm here to help people who want the same thing. Like, hey, you want to get there? I can help, pretty much. So here's some questions. What is divine consciousness? Um, I can answer it a little bit. So, what is divine consciousness? In my experience, divine consciousness is very loving, very compassionate. It's calm. It sees things differently than the human does. It recognizes that the bad things that happen in our human experience are just as important as the good. See, I used to think that, okay, if God is loving me, then God's going to keep me safe all the time. And then bad things would happen. I'm like, what is this? And so what I've had to wrestle with and learn is that love isn't here to save us from bad stuff. Love is here to love us through it. Because believe it or not, at a soul level, and this is why this is really hard to understand when you're wounded. This is really hard to understand when you haven't healed much. Because I remember the first time someone told me about soul contracts, and I just boiled over and I let it rip. I was just like, there is no way in hell I planned this. It was, no, they just looked at me like, well, clearly you're not healed. I was like, how dare you? That was just so cruel. Um, it was cruel. And so I try very hard not to do that. But see, I've healed and I've learned things and I've learned that my soul chose these very, very difficult, challenging experiences. And the challenging experiences I'm referring to is I'm a survivor of really severe, organized childhood sexual abuse. I was a slave for 8 years. So I have experienced evil at a very, very intense level. And I know that my soul chose that experience. And that's very hard for a human. It's very hard because it was so painful and so many horrible things happened. But see, that's the thing that I know I'm a being of love. And my guides helped me understand this. They're like, Laura, yes, you were a little girl having this human experience that was really, really awful. And we're sorry that had to happen, but it had to happen. And at the same time, your soul, your higher self, was doing really important work and really important work that was really important. And so, that gave me a sense of comfort that, okay, it wasn't all for nothing, you know? And since then, I've learned so much more. And and so that's divine consciousness. Divine consciousness it's just a higher, deeper sense of what love really is. It's a deeper sense of what love really is, but more, or no, maybe not. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Or how love works. Love heals, absolutely. And love alleviates the suffering. We can experience things without suffering. And then life is more peaceful when we don't suffer anymore. Yeah. So that's what I have to say right now about divine consciousness. So, what is ascension? Embodying divine consciousness. I used to think ascension was, poofing out of existence because that's what it said in the Bible. Like they just disappear. They've ascended. Like, so to ascend the human experience means to disappear from human experience. Yeah, okay, I get that. But I think I don't think that's necessarily necessary. I think ascension is just it is ascending the human sense of identity. It's about embodying higher states of consciousness in physical form. Because that was the thing that the Christ said last year that I will never forget is that our human experience, the goal of where we're headed as humanity is we're evolving. We're evolving. Humanity is evolving. And what we're evolving to is an integration of the soul self with the human self. And it's a beautiful, glorious thing. And that to me is ascension. Or maybe ascension is what comes from that. It's the experience that comes from that happening. When our soul self fully integrates with our human self, our bodies, our consciousness, we're going to change, we're going to transform, we're going to evolve. And ascension is what comes from that. That is ascension, ascending to these higher states of consciousness, this whole new way of being in human form. That's what I'm so excited about. As you can see, I'm just like so freaking excited about this. It's not even funny. I probably need to do a short of just this because it's so exciting. Just can't contain myself. It's crazy. So, what is in divine embodiment? Boy, okay. So, divine embodiment is embodying divine consciousness. So, divine embodiment is, you know, that consciousness, which we feel as energy, it's really consciousness, becomes so divine embodiment is embodying divine consciousness. Okay. So, what is divine being? Being that being our divinity in physical form. I'm not gonna say human form, in physical form, because it's not human anymore. It's a hybrid. It's a hybrid. Oh, so exciting. So how does one heal and clear the stuff that's in the way of that? Really interesting because a week ago I would have said something very different. But because of the healing process they guided me through this morning, I have a much different answer to that question. Gratitude, love, and acceptance. Boom. Okay. Right. It's like, huh? Okay. So the method I use is to say, divine self, divine helpers, God, help me heal and clear whatever it is that seems to be in the way. So for me, it's trauma symptoms. They're just what are driving me nuts. I'm like, please heal and clear these trauma symptoms to the greatest extent that serves highest good, please. And they do it. And then today they were like, feel it, because you have to feel it to heal it. That's the thing I've learned. It's true. I find somatic methods of healing to be the most effective. And then I realized I had to be grateful for the things that had happened to me. I needed to be grateful for those experiences, not for abusing me. That's not what it is. That's not what gratitude is. Gratitude isn't being grateful for the bad things that happened to us. That's not it. We're being grateful for the things that we've learned or that we've gained from those experiences. There, that's what it is. That's what divine consciousness is. It's understanding that there's something beyond the pain and suffering, that it's simply a means to an end. It is not the thing. It is a mean to an end. It is not the thing itself. So the abuse that I endured taught me things. I learned valuable things. And the thing I've learned is humanly, I don't know what those things are. I have a clue. But by my acknowledging that, the part of me that does understand this, I'm accepting that. I'm acknowledging that. And then that allows that to come into my experience. So I may not be able to articulate what I've learned from those experiences, but I know that I learned something incredibly valuable. Many things, actually, many things, including hey, I'm here to help people heal now in a way that I never thought was possible. That's huge, you know? So that's the gratitude. That's the acceptance. And that's the love. And the more you work with your your divine self, I like divine self, the more you work with your divine self or your soul, there we go. We'll go those two things, divine self or soul, whichever one you best resonate with. The more you embody that, the more this becomes easier to do. It comes with divine help. Believe me. All right. Oh yeah. Yeah. And I finally learned to be grateful for what these things that happened taught me. I don't have to know the particulars, just know that I have learned the lessons and that I can be grateful for them and that I can finally be free and move on. That is the key to freedom is gratitude, love, and acceptance. Notice I did not say forgiveness. I want to talk about forgiveness for a minute. I don't think forgiveness has anything to do with this. I don't know where forgiveness came from. Maybe from the Bible. Maybe I did. I wonder. I think maybe the English translation was to forgive. Forgiveness just doesn't it doesn't register with me. My father was the instrument for everything I experienced, all the abuse that I experienced. It was all from him. Like, poor guy. He was the linchpin, the pawn in the whole thing. Um I've never forgiven him. I've never had to forgive him. I thanked him. I thanked him for because what I realize is here's this pure being of love who agreed to play this horrible human character. And it came with horrible stuff. He had to carry a lot of stuff. And he did it for me. You see where forgiveness has nothing to do with this. It's gratitude and love and acceptance. Well, okay, now what they're saying is, but what if that is what forgiveness is? What if those are the pieces of forgiveness? I still don't like forgiveness. I won't go there. I won't use that word ever. I'm just like, no. But gratitude, love, and acceptance, absolutely. So, okay. But yeah, some part of me really does not like that word. And that's okay. I'm acknowledging that and I'm honoring that. But gratitude, love, and acceptance. And now I finally learned what that looks like and how that is. And I had to get there. It's a process, guys. It's a process, but you get there, which is exciting. Yay. Okay, so yes. So there we are. So that's what I'm about. And this is what I'm here to do for myself. Here's the thing. This is my journey. This is my individual journey and I'm letting people making it public so that people who are on a similar journey who are looking for acceptance and love, I'm here. If this is your journey and you're feeling very alone and you would like some support, I'm here. I've been given lots of support. And I'm here to pay it forward and offer support. So if that's something that you would like, join me. I actually might do some like classes, like just to put on YouTube, like because my friend David Dorian Ross did that for a while. He did 15 minutes of Tai Chi every morning, bless his heart. Um, like during the week, Monday through Friday. And then he did a paid class on Saturdays. But yeah, it was 10 or 15 minutes for free of Tai Chi every day. It was fabulous. And I remember I watched before I ever joined the class because I was terrified to join his class because he was David Dorian Ross, for God's sakes, you know? So I watched him on YouTube for a while and practiced with him on YouTube. And then finally I found the courage to actually join a class. So I think I might do that like in October. It's like, let's get together for 20 minutes, 3 times a week. I'm not gonna do it every day, that'd be crazy, but 3 times a week. We'll just get together and do some energy work together. Yeah, something. We'll see. But yeah, so again, if you're looking for support, reach out. I have a few different ways. I have a growing community of women who are doing this work. Um, and we're growing together. It's a beautiful thing. And I'm putting together a small group sometime this month. I hope to have it formed so we can get started in October. Then we'll go into January because December is such a busy time. But I think it's really important to have this during times like that. So, yeah. So it'll be a little program that we'll do October through January or so. Um, and then I'm going to be putting together a mini course eventually. Eventually, I might do it as like a live like series of workshops first, because that would be easier, honestly, than trying to create something. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, so those are the ways that I can offer support. The membership is up and running, so that's something you can join at any time. The others are in process. So yeah. All right. Well, have a good day. Bye bye.